Welcome to our conversation about the research paper. To begin our research paper, of course, you have to go through the basic writing process. First, you will start with pre-writing. Pre-writing usually consists of brainstorming of some sort, maybe a map or clustering, a free write, a think it out, or any type of bulleting. Of course, when it comes to pre-writing, it's any thoughts, like an outline, that comes before drafting. Pre-writing is a must for writing your research paper. Of course, for our research paper, it will also include the proposal. When it comes to this process, don't hesitate. This is the time to get your best thought forward, and if you have any problems, you should stop right then and there and ask. The second step to this process is drafting. When it comes to drafting, each of you will of course have to write a draft of your actual research paper. This is something that is important to consider as we go on as a go-forward basis. When it comes to drafting, this is where we can get all our ideas down and make any revisions, corrections, and changes before we start to move towards our final draft. Editing and revising. Each of you will edit and revise your actual paper. When we say editing and revising, you'll of course have to have time for peer editing, and I'm going to ask that you get outside eyes on your paper. That means if I've specified a specific person, you need to find them and ask for help. If not, this means anyone outside of this class that is deemed credible, so has at least a college degree, is someone who I would see for editing and revising your final essay. And then lastly, it'll come time for a final draft, a final product, final essay. Depending on what we're working on, these are the 5 steps for writing any type of paper or writing any material that requires pre-writing, draft, edit, revising, and of course a final. Pre-writing. Finding a topic for your paper will likely be the hardest part of the entire essay. Just figuring out what to write about can be the trickiest part to the whole essay. Thinking about a topic, where do I start? Where should I begin? This is usually what comes in mind when you're actually thinking about pre-writing. As I've stated before, you want to make sure that your pre-writing is something that is important to you and something you might actually be enthusiastic about writing. If this isn't the case, I probably wouldn't consider this for my pre-write. So keep in mind that you will want to write about something that interests you. When I talk about intriguing you, it's a very important thing. Although some of you may think that's kind of silly, if you're not interested in your paper topic, why would you even want to write that paper? It's already something that's probably going to be hard for you, and you want to make sure that you are including a topic that interests you, so maybe it'll keep your focus for longer. The first step of writing your paper is, of course, the pre-writing stage. There are many different types of pre-writing. There are free writes, questioning, making a list, clustering, and summarizing. When it comes to these different types of pre-writing, you want to consider each and every type. First is a free write. When you make a free write pre-write, you write down anything that comes to mind. It allows the ideas to flow without regard to spelling, grammar, usage, or mechanics. When you free write, you allow the topic to come from the thoughts in your mind. When you write down a free write, it may become a story. It may become a list. Maybe it's something that just compiles all sorts of words that go together. This is what we would consider a free write. Here's a free write example. If I just started typing, this is where I might be able to get my free write from. During the last week of school, I just kept thinking that there is so much that I haven't done. What else did I need to do to make sure that my students were successful? Did I accomplish enough that their teachers the next year won't worry about them? The end of the year always becomes emotional for me because I have made all of these student relationships that I now have to leave behind. They become like family to me every day that I am in school, and I just don't know how I will survive without them every day next year. Oh well, I guess I will have new students to enjoy. Here obviously is a thought that is done at the end of the school year for me. I of course ask questions, and I write down my thoughts, and also my responses to my questions. It's a good idea to use a free write if you have no idea where you want to start, or maybe where you want to even end up with your paper. Start with a free write, and it might be a good example for you. After looking at my free write, what topic should my essay or paragraph be about? Any ideas? I'm thinking that maybe my paper should, of course, be about student relationships, or maybe I should have my paper be about the end of the year. Two good topics maybe to start on. Are there any examples that support your idea? Now, if I'm actually writing a research paper about student relationships, maybe I want to look at student interactions in the classroom. Maybe I want to look at how a teacher can influence students in the classroom. There are obviously different ways in which I may want to change my paper. The next type of free write, or as I should say, pre-write, is considered questioning. So when it comes to questioning, I'm going to write down my topic, underline it so I know what topic I'm writing about, and then of course come up with any questions I might want to answer about that topic. So here's my questioning about computers. What do I know about computers? Maybe I know a lot, maybe I know a little. What would I like to know? When am I able to learn about them? Where can I get more information? Why do I want this information? Why do I need this information? How will I use this information? How can I apply it? And how will it benefit me? When it comes to questioning, of course, I'm going to ask every single question I can about my topic. As you can see, this is just a small compiled list here, but with questioning, I'm going to ask a lot of questions to try to figure out as much as I can about my topic. One of the next types of pre-writes is, of course, making a list. It uses the bullet points. So, computers. I'm going to write down all the bullet points I can about everything I know about computers. Well, there are different kinds of computers. There are different sizes, uses, school, games, enjoy using. So maybe some people enjoy using the computer. Bill Gates is something I know about computers. How about Steve Jobs? Research papers, internet access. Well, what's the other Steve's name? Steve starts with a W. Wozniak? Maybe that's not right. Internet access, fun to work with. Or maybe computers scare me. Business use, hospitals, banks, police departments. Maybe it's a difficult language. You can't understand the jargon of a computer. Or maybe you need classes to learn how to use a computer. So, in thought process, making a list is a pretty easy way to brainstorm about a topic. But if you don't know enough about it, maybe you need to actually gather some more idea before you create a list. The next type is clustering. When it comes to clustering, you're going to have a mind map, and you're going to, of course, need to create clusters about your topic to figure out whether or not this is a good topic. Lastly, summarizing. When it comes to summarizing, you're going to write down everything that you know about your topic. You're going to write down general thoughts and general ideas. So, let's see how summarizing is done. If you, of course, open your work document, summarizing. Let's pick a general topic. Let's go with grades in school. As a teacher, of course, I write about grades all the time. Alright, so far I've come up with grades in school. When it comes to grades in school, many different students have different ideas and agendas for school. They have a status quo that they need to reach to be able to succeed. Of course, these are just generalizations about maybe what students need to get for grades. It's not something that's hard to do, but summarizing, you're summarizing any idea that you might have. This means more or less with summarizing, you're going to write in full and complete sentences. So, to round it back out, there are many different types of the writing process when it comes to our pre-write. Today you're going to be asked to use the different types of pre-writing to create a pre-write actually about, let's go with school dances, or try homecoming, or let's look at the college level and consider degrees. So we've got homecoming, we've got school dances, and of course at the college level we've got degrees. What I would like you to do right now is pull out a piece of paper and start a pre-write. Whether that means you're going to pre-write about, you're going to use a free write, a questioning, making a list, clustering, or summarizing. Right now what I would like you to do is create a pre-write of your own about one of these three topics: degrees, homecoming, or of course dances at school. When you are done, please make sure that your pre-write is complete and it has multiple thought processes in the mix of it. If you have any questions, please let me know at this time.